What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Now that the car is all clean, we can move on to today's install. I don't know if you noticed when I was washing the car, but the front lip is actually missing, and that's because I took it off in order to have it paint match. So we're gonna be installing the paint match front lip today, as well as some rear OEM mudguards. I ordered those a little while ago, and they came in an orange from the factory. They didn't have any red ones left, so when I got that lip matched, I also got those paint matched. So let me show you what they look like. Here we go, so there's the front lip. That's a factory stage replica. I got it off of eBay, so, but it fits pretty good, and it's gonna look a lot better that it's paint matched. And here are those rear OEM mudguards. I think it's really going to complete the look. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the rear mudguards first. They're pretty easy to install, so I'll get those out of the way, and then we can move on to the front lip. So apart from being able to completely air out and be like sitting on the ground, the coolest part of air suspension is that I could be like, you know what, I think I need a little more clearance, a little more space to work with in the back. Let me just air up real quick. Yeah, I think I need a little more space. Oh, sick. So I got my flap right here, and since it is an OEM part, brand new, it came with the instruction manual and all the proper hardware to install it. It's super easy. I already did the other side, so I'll go ahead and walk you through this side. So if you see right there, there's like kind of that little U-shape cutout, and then there's some perforation. So I just have to cut those little tabs and basically remove that whole little horseshoe shape. And we're left with that little cutout. There's a hole right behind it, and we're gonna slide a clip right there. This is the clip that we're gonna put right in that bumper hole slot, whatever you wanna call it. So this slides over, and then the flap is gonna go over top, and then a screw goes through here. Next, I'm gonna take these two little push clips and actually put on the mud flap. Kind of a hard time snapping those in, but there's one, and there's the second one. So now we just gotta put a screw right here, and then a screw on the very bottom. This is like the worst lighting to try to film this, but there's that screw, so I just gotta tighten it down. So now there's this 3M tape right here. I left a little tail right there, so hopefully, with any luck, I'll be able to pull that all off in one piece. And lastly, underneath here, we have this very last hole. It originally came with one of these guys, and it's supposed to just thread into the bumper and the splash guard thing, but I tried on the other side, and the hole is too big in the bumper and the splash guard, so this doesn't thread into anything except for that mud flap, which doesn't really do anything. So I'm just gonna be using nuts and bolts that are a similar size to the one that it came with. So I got the nut and bolt all dialed in there. You can see the nut on the top there. So that ain't going anywhere. So they're fully installed. Here's a quick look, running from the side skirt to the back wheel to that rear mud flap there. Definitely makes the car look a little lower in the back. All right, so with the rear mudguards on, I'm gonna move up to the front and work on this lip. When the lip was on before, it was slightly off-centered, and it always kind of bothered me. So I'm gonna take the extra time to kind of measure out the lip and measure out the opening of the grill, find the center point, and hopefully that'll let me align them perfectly center where they need to be. So I got my lip in front of me right here, put this piece of blue painter's tape just like estimated where the middle is. I'm gonna measure between this point and this point, and then put a Sharpie mark right at the center. All right, so after all that measuring, after sitting back under the car and holding it up, I realized that the original mounting holes that I drilled when I first put the lip on were almost identical to where my new mounting holes would be. It would be like moved over ever so slightly, so if I tried to drill a new hole, it would just basically expand the existing hole and wouldn't actually hold the lip up. So I decided to just use the holes that were already there. That way I could just zip it right back in and not worry about any of that. And it's actually pretty centered to where I made my marks anyway, so I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna use the existing holes. So I moved forward and already got the first two screwed in. You can see this one right here and this one right here as well. All right, the paint match lip is officially back on. Let's go ahead and throw the wheels on and put her back on the ground and see what she looks like all together. Dude, this thing looks so good. It looks so much better to me with the paint matched front lip. That was like the one thing that bothered me. The rest of the car was all red, except for that lip. And a lot of people said they liked the contrast, but to me, it kind of just looked cheap. So now that it's like fully painted to match the car, I think it just looks that much more like official, like a proper lip. So yeah, I'll give you a quick walk around of the car. It's kind of windy, so I'll probably just throw some music over top, but I'll do a quick walk around for you. Alright guys, I think that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope you like how the car turned out. I know I personally love it. This is kind of the original vision I had when creating this car from the start. So I am super pumped to see this thing in reality now, to kind of complete that vision. So I'm going to call this my V1 look. I have a couple ideas in mind for changing it in the future, but since I just completed this, I'm gonna roll around with it for a little bit, and I love it. I love how it looks. So as far as next mods go, I'm not exactly sure. I might move on to the interior. I have some seats in mind, possibly a steering wheel, but I'm not really sure. So I'm curious what you guys would want to see, what you'd want to do if this was your car. Let me know in the comments below, and maybe you might ignite something in my brain, and I might just do it. So yeah, let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flop. Peace out.